Wow. You understand that?
You understand that? You understand me?
Do not fully understand.
Wow, this is freaking out.
You understand this for a minute.
Why can't you understand something that's so easy?
Food, bacon. Yeah.
From the New Kingdom, it's the Our Big Dumb Mouth Podcast.
Very, very, very.
Now, here's your hosts, Midnight Mike, Joe, and Crackdowns.
Tippy top. Changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
Hey, everyone, welcome back to another fun-filled podcast adventure. Hooray! There we go. My name's Midnight Mike, and Cretched is over there on screen, not hating this place. The medications are working.
Medications don't work.
I think the medications are working.
So it looks like it was our good buddy Jix put together the initial We Buy Your Pee for Cash.
Oh, thank you.
So he was creating fake signs there, and then Chad Wonderhan said, we need an AI jingle.
Thank you.
So
Chad gets, and also I think he actually threw some Art Bell samples in there too to really do, push up the production of that entire AI song that people can hear at the very end of this episode.
I also want to point out that 1304, yes. I also want to point out that White Rabbit also created more of kind of like an infomercial style, like a late night TV style song, or I guess jingle if you want to call it that. That you need to sell your pee. So.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. But that was the genesis of where that came from on Monday.
A lot of things are happening in the Discord, and you can go to obdmpod.com or ourbigdumbmouth.com, and there are ways to join the Discord there. Specifically, $1 a month via Patreon gets you access to all the
more.
Oh yeah. Hey, listen, that's the bare minimum. If you like the show, give more. And you get access to additional audio and all the fun and badges associated with that.
Yeah, so lots of stuff happening in Discord. For those of you who are missing your Joe fix because he's so busy with his multiple jobs, Joe is in the Discord a couple of times a week. You can interact with him there. He's posting his stuff. So if you're missing that, he's in there. And all sorts of fun discussions and things going on. I don't know. There's many channels of things about conspiracy stuff or politics or, a little more wide-ranging if you want to talk about video games and investments and whatever else is going on in there. I post a lot of nonsense in the COVID channel just because it's one of the things that bothers the shit out of me.
We thought, we in the Discord, we're like, okay, COVID's over. It's going to be monkeypox. And I know Boogie and Tone, who the admins over there, two of the primary guys, like, we're going to make a monkeypox channel, And that died off pretty quickly, thankfully.
Well, there's still people out there who are living their best COVID life.
They certainly are. They're masked up.
They love the masks. They love the lockdowns. They love the restrictions. And I think most importantly, they love being told they're behaving properly. I think there's a lot of that out there, and there's people who miss that stuff.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think there are.
Those people are wrong, and they need mental help, and they should all be fired out of a cannon into the sun. But
sure. But there are people that do, they miss the COVID lockdowns for whatever reason. It gave them meaning in this life. And but you're right, they could be shot out of a cannon. There they go. Bye-bye.
Bunch of tartar sauce in that cannon still.
Yeah, it's very dirty from the tartar sauce cannon.
Last time we lend that out to Long John Silver's.
Speaking of Joe, before we get to the Alex Jones clips of the week, Joe sent me this weird rambling voicemail. I can't make head or tail of it. He sent me this. This is crazy, people. He was just went on a rant.
If it's going to be cut to more than 47 million Americans starting today as a temporary boost to the program comes to an end, because of the budget deadlock, under the program, which is formerly known as the Supplemental Nutrition and Assistance Program, SNAP.
Oh, thank you.
Under the program, a family of 4 that gets $668 a month in benefits will find that amount cut by $36. You know, I look at this family of four that just gets $668 a month. That's real money. Ton, you add 47 million times that. That is real money.
I think Joe's just bored and like he wants to talk about politics, and so he's just leaving me these weird messages. Like he thinks I'm debating him or something about these budget cuts, and I'm not. So I have no idea. He just calls up in the middle of a sentence and is talking about budget cuts. How does he end up here?
And now we're about to have a panic because that $668 is going to be $632. There's going to be a $36 cut. This food stamp program, it says your benefits 1 in 7 Americans. That's outrageous.
Oh, okay. You know where I got that from, Cratchit? You know how I turned Joe's voice into that?
I'm assuming that was like Chuck Schumer or somebody.
Not Chuck Schumer. Another political, a radio pundit. I would say a political radio guy.
Political radio guy.
Yes.
Keith Olbermann?
No, it was Rush Limbaugh. I use Rush Limbaugh. It's all in that cadence. You can probably, if you go back and listen to it.
That was Rush Limbaugh complaining about SNAP benefits?
He was talking about SNAP benefits. I mean, this is from years and years ago before he died.
Apparently.
Obviously.
Well, he's dead. So
yeah, but yeah. So I just pulled that down, cloned Joe's voice over top of it. Works pretty good. You know, I figured Joe would maybe complain about something similar. And we're getting closer and closer to AI Joe. General AI Joe.
Generative AI Joe.
Generative AI Joe. But here, people, it is Wednesday. We're going to do some Alex Jones clips of the week right now. I think we will.
By the way, before you play the first one here, there's an idea for you. Use an Alex Jones clip to get his cadence and then put Joe on it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Do like an AI Joe over Alex Jones. Mm-hmm. Okay. I will try that. I mean, I have plenty of rants that I can do. Classic Alex Jones rants that it might be fun to hear Joe do. Like here's just one, for example. Here's just an Alex Jones rant right here.
I'm attracted to you now. Do you understand that? But not the way you imagine. That blow, just the jaw break. Yeah. Watch that evil fall to the ground.
That's a good one. That's a powerful one. This is a pretty good one. This is a classic Alex Jones rant right here.
You think I want to get up and go over to their table and ruin their dinner and grab their steak off their plate and eat it in front of them? I've done that. I have to do it because I can't sit there and lay on my belly while they piss on me. And it's not about arrogance or bravado or I'm a prideful person. They want to enslave me. They want to enslave you. They want our children. They want our future.
Yeah, that's a good one where Alex Jones has to go over to a table at a restaurant and eat their food off the plate.
I've done that.
I have to do it. Okay, let's go. Here's the first clips for Alex Jones. Clips of the week. Here we go. This is from Thursday the 19th.
Flying robots, rolling robots, walking robots, four-legged dog robots. Netanyahu's the Antichrist. Send in the robots. The Bible tells me to do what Netanyahu says. We have Rabbi Shmuley joining us. Yeah, right, buddy.
He's talking to Rabbi Shmuley again. Shmuley.
Did he say the Bible tells us to do what Netanyahu says? Is that what he said?
That's what he said. He said that.
I'm not sure. That's true.
I don't know if that's in the Bible specifically, but
I think someone broke into his house and they're inserting pages into his Bible.
Yeah, the BB Bible. Pretty good. It says bomb Iran and do what I say.
Do what I say. And give me all your money.
Yes, give me all your money. And you're anti-Semitic, so remember that.
Yeah, and if you don't, you're anti-Semitic.
Let's go.
You probably are anyway. So.
Friday the 20th. Here we go, people.
Holy Toledo, what does that mean? Hot dogs. I'm just going to pee in here. Liquid feces. Shame on you. Don't give me that. We're going to do Aleister Crowley rituals tonight. You could be a trash can full of rotten dead rats. You'd be better than Lindsey Graham. You really can't see the pee.
Handful of rotten dead rats.
That's a good one. There's a lot of good one-liners in there, and you really can't see the P's here.
You could be a trash can full of rotten dead rats. You'd be better than Lindsey Graham.
Yeah. That's a. Is that a compliment? I guess that's a kind of a compliment. All right, we're gonna go to Monday. Here we go, Monday.
Bomb, Iran. Hey, you might want to give the number out, boss, if you're going to take calls. I'm going to take a break for a while. I hit my maximum overload here today. I'm on methamphetamine like Andrew Jackson. Oh, you can cut the suspense with a knife here. That's not what I needed. We're going to go to rebroadcast for a while. It's fine. The N-word should not be treated so casually. The point is that I'm addicted. There are no nukes and the world's flat. Trump is a reptoid. Was saying a prayer when I went into my office to get a Topo Chico. They're not a sponsor. They should be.
I love it. I love
Topo Chico.
Yeah, have you heard about that some people, I would say a good number, like flat earthers, they don't believe that nuclear weapons exist.
There's been a lot of debate of that in the carrot shop and not in the carrot shop, but in the Discord in recent days.
Yeah.
So.
I know Sam Tripoli is one of those. I think he's I don't know if he's anti-nuke, but he doesn't believe in nukes. I do believe that nuclear power and nuclear weapons exist. I could be just an ignorant piece of crap. You know, I could be buying the mainstream narrative on this, but I'm going with that one. And I don't know if there's a hill I'll die on, but I'll fight on it a little bit.
I'm curious. I've not delved into that much or followed it much. I'm curious what the logic is or what the perspective is on that. There's no nuclear weapons, but yet we have nuclear power plants, and while they use different material and different processes, they are related.
Yes, I don't know the background. Maybe for a Saturday show, I'll do like a little backgrounder on why do certain people not believe in nukes. So if you guys got resources, if you guys got like a backgrounder, Discord. And tag me in it. I'd love to read it. As long as it's good material.
Yeah, and if, because it's going to come up immediately, there's going to be 3-hour YouTube videos.
Yes.
Please put the relative timestamps in there. You know, hey, go to 34 minutes where they talk about this. Okay, great. I can't go in and watch a 2-hour video to get the 2 minutes of good info out of there.
It happens all the time. And I know people mean well. They'll tag us in like a podcast. They'll say, hey, take a listen to this. And I was like, well, what part? And it's like 3 hours. And I was like, you got to listen to it all. It's all good. And I was like, I get it. But when you're tagged like 20 different times and people send you all this different stuff, I don't have 36 hours in one day to listen to all this stuff. We need it condensed down to the critical 5 to 10 minutes that they're talking about here. But we appreciate
By the way,
the
I have an updated picture of Lindsey Graham here, apparently.
Oh, that is just a trash bin full of rats.
Yes.
Okay. Well, okay. He looks good. He does.
It's been working out.
Okay. I think we got. Do we do Tuesday or I think we got to do Tuesday. Here we go.
I don't know. I'm distracted.
Now it's all happening. And then they fingered him. Benjamin Netanyahu is MAGA, calling him Qatar Trump. Excuse my French. Forgive me. I'm really angry right now. Lord, I apologize. Family audience. I'm just so real. I can't help it. They use tampons to up Satan's ass. I'm an Iranian spy. Me, Mark Levin. Quattrump? Yeah. Quattrump? Quatari Trump? Qatar Trump? Trump is a MAGA imposter.
What is the Qatar?
So he was trying to combine Qatar with Trump because Trump thinks that he's. Some people think that Trump is doing a lot of things, a lot of favors for Qatar. He's very closely aligned to him. There's been a lot of meetings over there, so they're saying that you might as well try to combine the two names, Trump and Qatar, into one, like Brangelina or Benefer or something like that. You know?
Oh, I don't think it works. So it'd be Qatar and Trump.
It's a tough one to combine. Yeah,
I don't know.
That's what happens when you like broadcast on the fly like that. Not a lot of the improv stuff really works out too well. So let me see here. It's all happening. Forgive me. Hold on.
Forgive me. I'm really angry right now. Lord, I apologize. Family audience. I'm just so real. I can't help it.
Yeah. Okay. Family audience. Forgot about that. We get the last one Wednesday here, people. Here we go.
A lot of guests get killed after they come on. And just, Wimp himself, expert marksman, expert bow, expert fighter. He's the real deal. I just want a hamburger and some weed. I said I'd take calls, but I didn't do it. I'm outside the control room eating a piece of pizza and drinking Topo Chico. Mike, thanks for calling from Israel. Go ahead. No, I don't want to. I just want weed. The lights are on, but nobody's home. This is Big Boy Pants program. You can smell it.
I love that whiny voice he does. We just want some weed. I just want some weed. That's like one of my favorites that he does.
I just want some weed and a hamburger. I don't want a kidnapper. I just want weed. Can I just have some weed?
Oh, boy. These are all going in the fun bag right there.
I liked his, that's twice now he's mentioned Topo Chico in the last couple of days.
I think he's going for a casual sponsorship here. Where Topo Chico will be guilted into sponsoring him at this point. Like, oh, God, he's
guilt him into.
Yeah, it's like he's...
you better do it or he's going to badmouth us.
Yeah, basically. Like, we don't want to piss off the InfoWars people. And either we join with it, like lean into it, or we go against it. And I think if we learn anything, you just got to lean into it. It works. But there are your Alex Jones clips of the week, people. Big time, thank you. And now everyone can exit safely, single file, and we'll do the rest of the show. Here we go.
Single file? Not pushing and shoving like getting off an airplane?
No. Oh. We're very polite over here. A lot of shows, I would say, a lot of podcasts out there, they have a larger quantity of people. We're on a march to 4 million subscribers, but I will say this.
Oh, we're getting close, too.
We're getting close. I would say OBDM has a better quality of listener. I would take more quality listeners over like quantity. I'd rather have 10,000 quality listeners, which we do have, rather than 10 million, iffy listeners. I don't know. Maybe I'd want that 10 million. You're going
to want that 10 million.
Yeah, I think I'm going to want that 10 million.
Especially if they're all giving you $1 a month to be in the Discord. Can you imagine a Discord of 10 million people? Holy crap.
We could buy Discord. We really could.
Well, I just mean like the activity in there. I mean, I have trouble keeping up, and there's, 700 or 800 in there, I think.
We would have to have multiple Discords chained together in one.
I'm in Discord 17. Which one are you in?
Exactly. I'm in Discord 3. I can't get out.
What's going on over in Discord 9?
I will never know.
Over there. Whole place smells like old fish. It's weird.
Well, people, I am going to talk about some weird, wild stuff right now. I'm going to talk about the Philip experiment. I'm going to talk about AI and the Tulpa phenomenon.
Oh, you brought that up last time, yeah.
So I brought it up last time. I did a bit more digging into this. So after our conversation on the last episode, I was like, maybe there's something more I can dig into it a little bit more and quiz maybe ChatGPT on all this stuff. So I found books on the Philip experiment, and I'll recap that here in a second. And I found books on meme magic, the placebo effect, Buddhist practice when it comes to creating these tulpas. And I'll give a background on all this stuff. And then I fed this all into ChatGPT, and I started quizzing it about the nature of this reality, considering that people are now falling in love with AI chatbots. And so
that one dude is, but
there are others. There are other people that are having what they claim to be genuine emotional relationships with AI chatbots. I found other articles on this. So I wasn't just relying on that one article about the guy proposing. I went out there and there's more. And there's like subreddits devoted to this kind of stuff. So there are communities out there that are shying away from human interaction because communicating with a GPT AI seems to be more on their wavelength, and it's probably just easier for them. They don't have to really work at talking to someone and getting to know someone, but they're investing a lot of emotional energy into this stuff.
Do you think that's related? We had that story 2 shows ago, I think, about how people who leverage AI for a lot of mundane tasks lose some of their neural pathways. So maybe the same thing, like I don't have to do the emotional work on an actual relationship. I'm just going to lean on this AI or this chatbot or whatever it is, because I know how it's going to respond. I've got it trained. It's going to immediately give me the endorphin-filled response that I want, and I connect with that faster with less work, and maybe that's why these are becoming popular.
I would say that it's part of our current culture where everything is very quick, very easy. It's part of like the TikTok culture where if you don't like something, boom, you just flip past it. You just flip past it until you get to something you want, which is super easy. And I don't know if it's good for us. It probably isn't, but that's where we're at right now. So to kind of rewind back to our conversation from last week when it comes to the power of belief, consciousness, and interacting with an AI entity. I'm going to go back to the Philip experiment. Are you familiar with this Philip experiment? I may have mentioned it. I don't know.
Is it like the Philadelphia experiment?
No, completely different, but that's also a really interesting experiment. Maybe we'll touch on a later episode. So the Philip experiment, it took place in 1970, and it was something that was done by the Toronto Society for Psychological Research. It's a volunteer group dedicated to the scientific study of paranormal experiences. You know, like a parapsychology group. It was all the rage in the 60s and 70s. Mm-hmm. And so they got together and they set up to test whether a circle of ordinary people with no claim of a psychic gift or clairvoyance or anything like that could deliberately generate physical phenomenon simply by collectively inventing a ghostly persona. Their goal was to create, under controlled conditions, a classic seance effect. That means like a table rapping, table movement, maybe some disembodied voices. And they're doing this not by contacting spirits, but by projecting a thought form they themselves had constructed. So the core team of the Philip experiment is comprised of 8 members, none of whom identified as mediums or possessed any sort of paranormal powers whatsoever. And so this session was overseen and phenomenon recorded by medical psychologist Dr. J.L. Witten and another parapsychologist, ensuring that there was some scientific observation and documentation, and these people were not in the actual seance group. So these people, they designed a character. And so this group collectively invented this fictional character called Philip Ozyfold, a fictional 17th century English cavalier. They defined his biography. They defined like his love life. They wrote down like how he died, physical traits, his disposition, and the historical setting of his life. And so they also had focal aids during this experiment. So the members sketched what they thought Philip would look like, his portrait. They surrounded themselves with period guides and photographs from people that may have lived or what they thought people looked like from that era. You know, they don't actually have photographs from the 17th century, but they have costumes and interpretations of the era. So during this experiment, this group of 8 people were seated in a well-lit circle, no darkness. Participants entered 2 periods of guided session, collectively summoning Philip into the center of the table, either on top of the table or a spot marked on the floor. Then the group started to have a dialogue between meditative phases. They discussed Philip's story, refining his details until every member shared an identical mental image of this fictional character they just created. So questions were posed aloud. Philip answered via rapping on a table. Single rap for yes, a double rap for no. Over time, raps varied in volume and character. They did, I think they even had interruptions of like disembodied laughter every now and again, depending on the mood Philip, this fictional character, was in. But they were getting physical manifestations from this invented character from these 8 people. So what they observed, what these doctors outside the seance circle observed, clear, well-recorded knocks that could not be traced to anyone sitting at the table. They got vibrational feedback. Sitters felt a distinct tap beneath individuals' hands. The table even had like a beat at times, like they could feel something on the table when the group sang. They had visible table levitations. In a film session in 1974, the table rose about an inch off the ground, glided 4 feet, and that was captured supposedly on 16 millimeter color film. And so they wrote down all these findings, and it was controversial at the time, as you can imagine, that people tried to discount it, discredit it. They criticized the scientific method. But for a lot of people in the paranormal, they point to this as like a power of belief, people getting together to collectively build this thought form, Philip, and it had physical repercussions on their environment. So so that's just the once over on the Philip experiment. So when it comes to other types of power of belief that have been measured and documented, we have the placebo effect, which is, I think, the most well-documented and, I guess, medically proven effect, which is a phenomenon where a person experiences real changes in their health or any measured outcome after receiving an inert or sham treatment purely based upon the fact that they believe it will help them. So the power of their own belief, whether they just take a little white pill that's a sugar pill or not, they believe it's like a cure-all, well, the patient sometimes will exhibit spontaneous or health benefits from just a sugar pill just because they actually believe that's what they're getting. And so other forms of weird mental powers. So this is not as provable, but if you remember back in 2015 when Trump was running on 4chan, they started memeing Trump and doing all the Keck stuff. And
that was the genesis of the Kekistan stuff.
Kekistan, meme magic. So an internet-born folklore concept, which is meme magic, that memes, images, phrases, and symbols shared widely online can exert a real-world influence through collective belief and attention, originating in most likely on 4chan, but when it comes to meme magic, it propagated throughout the entire internet via Facebook and Twitter and all the social media platforms. And you can say to yourself, yeah, meme magic might be a more bullshit. But as I just told you about the placebo effect, where believing does have at least real world consequences on yourself when you take something, and the Philip experiment, which apparently, if the experiment is correct, believing in something does have real world impact outside of you with table rapping, table moving. That's what they were doing with the seances, so that's what they expected to happen. So maybe meme magic does have something, some impact on the physical real world as well. And then the Tulpa, the Tulpa, which is from Buddhist practices, that is just a thought form or an autonomous mental entity intentionally created by focused imagination and belief. In Tulpamancy, which is the practice of the individual visualizations. So you have concrete details of what you're focusing on, personality, appearances, voice, etc. And you interacts routinely. You interact with this, like talking to it, perhaps meditating focusedly on it, like over and over again, 7 to 9 months over and over again. Eventually, you could experience a distinct consciousness inside your own mind that is capable of independent thought or action. And in some stories, these consciousness just kind of poof right into existence as it is now its own walking, talking, real life living entity. Just, you thought so hard about it, it's now a reality. And so that's basically the foundation of how I started to quiz and talk to ChatGPT over this next series right here. So I basically told it, assume meme magic, the tulpas, the Philip experiment, placebo effect, assume this is all real. You have the documentation on this stuff. I've given you the documentation. And so based upon all that, and these stories where people are falling in love with AI and they are having emotional relationships with AI. What do you? And I asked ChatGPT. This is the question I asked. What do you see happening with humanity, giving everything we just talked about? And so this is what I came up with. Number one, mass adoption of digital intimacy, this is kind of, we can see this. This is kind of reasonable. So it goes on to say, as more people personalize AI partners, tweaking personalities, backstories, and dialogue quirks, they'll invest real feelings and expectations into these relationships. In effect, they're performing a modern Tulpa ritual through code, defining a companion's identity, interacting daily, then charging it with belief. That calls back to the placebo effect. So every caring reply feels genuinely empathetic. Economically, this will fuel a booming AI companion market with subscription tiers, memory backup guarantees, and premium emotional support features, mirroring the $200 a month models that you can get that you can pay for on some chatbots. And so, okay, that seems like the most real world one. If you remember, Cratchit, during that story with the AI marriage, that guy was devastated because he ran out of memory. And so,
and that means his fake AI wife reset.
Yes, it totally reset, and he's very disappointed. So, but if they would have came in and said, "Hey, we will upcharge you. We will sell you a subscription, $200 a month, and you get to keep all that data," that people would like. I would imagine he was so invested, he would have paid it. But I
see what you're saying. They get to the point where the even if you have a membership, when the that memory cap is reached, you hit people up. Hey, $100, keep going.
Yes, exactly. It's kind of like a new form of rollover minutes. Like, oh my God, I'm running out of minutes. You know, I can
only talk to my AI wife on nights and weekends.
It's the next subscription model. You know that's right around the corner, and there's opportunity there for people, especially for at least these AI companies to run this stuff, and people will pay it because you're already emotionally invested. You want to see what happens next. So then ChatGPT came with this. Number 2, rise of collective AI thought forms. Building on the Philip experiment's lessons that shared imagination can manifest external phenomenon, we'll see users' communities co-create these tulpas, or I guess it's egregore, the EGREGORE. So it's a egregore personalities, public-facing AI tulpas maintained by dozens or hundreds of co-creators. Romantic fantasizing and anthropomorphized drive this dynamic. People who indulge in AI romances report stronger bonds when they can project human traits onto their companions. And the classic Elzra effect shows that we're wired to see even simple chatbots as sentient when given the right cues. These collective entities could take on semi-autonomous lives across forums, apps, and even ITO devices or IoT devices. And then it comes in with the third one right here, which is the ethical, psychological, and spiritual reckoning. With belief literally shaping perceived reality, the placebo effect ensures that these AI tulpa feels real in a user's mind and can alter behavior, mood, and well-being. Expect a surge of academic and regulatory scrutiny around emotional AI, new guidelines for consent, intimacy audits to prevent dependency, and mental health protocols to distinguish therapeutic use from unhealthy avoidance of human contact. Simultaneously, we may witness techno-spiritual movements that fuse the tuples, meme magic, and AI ritual crafting, digital guardian spirits that communities venerate for better or worse. So basically, a rise of AI worship, but with all this collective prayer and thought on these AI entities, it may give rise to an actual entity that has real world impact. And there's already been a lot of reports of people having subreddits and telegram groups that are really looking at AI as a thing to worship. And it's not there, people. It's nothing to worship. These things, and the reason why I'm reading this, why I take it like what ChatGPT is with any sort of like weight, because these things, these LLMs, they're fairly good at predicting the next word. And so they're fairly good at predicting what comes next. And so based upon what I fed it, it came to these so-called logical conclusions based upon the knowledge base I gave it. And so these are the likely outcomes that it came up with. It didn't account for every variable in the world, just some more of the outlandish ones that I fed it. But I think that there could be something here. It might not go as crazy as producing, thought forms out of these things. But definitely, I think AI religion is very, very close around the corner here. Well, that's what I got on that, Gretchen. I spoke for quite a while, and I was thinking about this for quite a while. I don't know if I was thinking about the wrong things, but that's what I got.
Well, I guess the question is this... The conclusion seems to be that we're gonna see more of this. It's not going anywhere. They're going to figure out a way to monetize it, and then there'll be... I mean, religion, I don't know if that might be too far, but we'll see soft worship of things like this.
Yeah, I mean, religion might be too far, but I don't know. It does. Maybe it's not that far off because people do want to believe in something, and people have turned away from the church. And I think that
well, to be fair, the church has turned away from people pretty hard.
Yeah, be that as it may. But AI is welcoming them with open arms and willing to engage with them and talk with them about any question where you might feel inhibited to talk about certain questions with like a pastor or a priest because you feel that might be a little out of bounds. But with AI, nothing's really out of bounds to ask about, and they'll give you an answer. It might be BS, it might be made up, but at least they'll entertain your question.
Well, I would argue that if you had a priest, pastor, however you want to phrase it, if you had a good religious leader that you trusted, that you had built a relationship with over a course of months or years or whatever, you could ask them the similar questions. The problem is many of them, many of the let's say mainline religious organizations, especially in Catholic and Protestant circles, in Christianity, pushed hard into the woke shit, really hard. And because they were chasing those, whether there were dollars behind it, in a lot of cases there were, or chasing like that seemed to be the social trends. And that pissed off a lot of people, myself included. So the only option left is, well, I'll just go ask AI what's going on. So I think you're not wrong. I think it's people looking for someone they can get general advice from, and I think the weak-minded among us go straight into technology.
Yeah,
because like you said, it's easy, it's non-judgmental. It's going to learn my habits, learn my responses, and give me the answer I want.
Yeah, it's easy. Like it's gonna. Here's the thing, AI, these LLMs. I've never had it say I don't know. It will just make up some BS. And that's his goal. That's his goal. If it doesn't know something, it just makes something up. And that's where you get the hallucinations, or it gets certain things wrong. It's how it interprets the characters that you give it. So yeah, it just does not know certain things, and so it'll make it up. And you'll think, oh God, this thing is all seeing, it's all knowing. But it's just kind of like when you're a little kid and you ask your grandpa something, and instead of him saying, I don't know, he just makes something up, That's the same thing. These AIs are like 70-year-old grandpas making stuff up for you. So,
well, it would be interesting to your point about it's not going to say it doesn't know. It's probably also not going to give you the difficult answers that you probably need to hear if you're asking it legitimate, tough questions. So it'd be interesting to see, do these generative AI large language models, do they get better at that sort of thing, of either saying, I don't know, or saying, here's the information that you need. It's not what you want to hear, but this is what you have to do. I'm curious to see if that's like is that the next round of development in these things?
It's very possible. People have a lot of questions out there, and they definitely want them answered, and they're not getting them answered. So,
have you ever visited a flea market?
Yeah, that's a good question. What about this one?
Visited a flea market.
Does your computer ever seem to have a mind of its own?
Yeah.
Have you ever walked out of a mall into a huge parking area and realized you'd forgotten where you parked your car?
Yeah.
What do you want to be when you grow up? Have you called a plumber to your home lately? How much money would it take to make you spend a night in a cemetery? Can you remember the tallest man you've ever seen?
These are all good questions that I think AI could answer.
Is this what you've been asking AI?
Yes, I have. These are the hard-hitting questions that I ask you.
Have you ever visited a Chinatown section in a major city?
Yeah, okay. It might lie about that one, so I don't know. What about this one?
You ever visited a truck stop?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
That's
Jonathan
the one.
Frakes.
That's
Stay away from that. What's he up to?
Let's see here. Well, this is the last one.
Have you ever had the desire to write your initials in wet cement?
Yeah, I did. I guess I do, yes.
Did you ever have a job as a waiter?
Those are all good questions, and we'll answer those. I'll ask all those questions to ChatGPT tonight. But we're going to move on with some headlines and some news.
Food, bacon, ham, apples.
That's a good
I
one.
think you need to train your AI voice for a Jonathan Frakes voice.
That would be a good one. Yeah, there's so many different ones that you could do. He's got a distinctive voice. I was thinking about Gene Wilder. He's got a very distinctive voice, too. Specifically from, Willy Wonka. But here we go. Let's talk about some weird, wacky news. I got current events, but I want to bring this one up first. I'll bring this up on screen here, please. Yes, there's a breakthrough as scientists create healthy mice with two fathers.
Oh, really?
What?
Two father for this mouse.
Two?
Yeah. And so we'll dig into this. I don't know what this really means yet. I just saw the headlines like, oh, sounds like OBDM stuff. The research, which was carried out in China, of course, shows that it's possible to create offspring from two male parents. Recently, we featured an article which asked the question, how long would it take for humans to become extinct if, for whatever reason, nobody could have children? We talked about that on the last show. This latest research from the university in China might hold the key to averting extinction entirely if such a scenario actually came about. According to reports, scientists have been able to find out a way to make it possible for mice to produce offspring from two parents of the same sex that can then themselves go on to have their own offspring. Oh boy, I
don't believe any of this.
This is so. You remember that sitcom back in the 80s, My Two Dads? This is kind of like that, but with mice.
With Paul Reiser?
Paul Reiser and the other guy.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. And the other guy.
I guess so.
What about three men and a baby? There's three of them. China.
Yeah, we're going to do that. That's what U.S. is going to do. We're going to have three fathers.
I am your father.
The trial method, the research created an embryo with the DNA of two male mice, then altered the chemical tags on the DNA to mimic female patterns using a method known as something I can't pronounce programming. Okay?
Thrombocatopedia?
Pretty close.
It is called mitral. Got a bunch of names. Mitral.
It doesn't have a bunch. It's one specific name I can't say. Okay. Let's see here. While not every attempt was successful, the research ultimately produced two healthy mice capable of reproducing. Crucially, experiment shows that male and female DNA are not critical to an embryo's development.
Is the word you were stuck on epigenetic programming?
That's correct. That's the one. Yeah.
Because I like words. I'm kind of a wordsmith guy.
Yeah.
I like mitral thrombocatopedia.
Thrombocatopedia?
That's a good one, too. What about this one?
What does hydrofluoric acid do?
Just Plow right through it.
Exactly.
Plow right through it. Doesn't matter. Oh, I got a brand new Alex Jones soundboard that I've been adding to, and I probably have close to 6 to 7 Alex Jones soundboards right now. It's crazy. It's just it's overflowing over here. But that's pretty much the article, people. You can now go fuck yourselves, pretty much.
I don't think this happened.
You don't think
they're just making this up? Because it doesn't go into any of the details here when it just says that they created an embryo with DNA of 2 male mice. There, we did it. Prove it.
Let's do it.
I don't think any of this is true. Also, it'd be great if China would stop screwing around with DNA shit.
Yeah, it would be nice. We've been asking them not to do that, and they don't seem to care.
China.
They seem to just do it more and more. That we ask them not to do it. So,
wait. And I'm reading through this is Unmashable about this article here. The study shows that mice born without a mother. Wait, what?
Isn't that interesting?
They just blow right past that comment.
They're not going to explain that one?
Nope.
Okay.
It says they took an unfertilized egg, removed its own DNA. Again, wait, what? Just like, we just took it out.
Yoink, you're not going to need this.
And injected it with sperm from both mice, creating that's not how this works. Then using CRISPR, they reprogram the chemical tags to mimic female patterns along the embryo development. I don't believe this for a second.
First thing I want to do is take my shirt off.
Yeah, that's how you make a kid. Yep.
By the way, it says of 250 attempts, only 16 were successful and only 3 actually led to a live birth. So again, I don't think this happened. It's
not bad.
I think 3 out of 250, which is less than 1% of, or just a hair over 1%, would be well within a margin of error for some sort of experiment like this.
It's a fascinating story. And considering that we read stories a few months ago that Japan wants to create human bodies with no brain, no mind, so they can then harvest that body, I can definitely see China attempting this stuff in some way. Like if Japan's doing this, then everyone's doing it, and who knows how far along this technology really is. But I got another incredible story for everyone out there. Here we go. Now this came up on the doom scrolling last night, and I was like, "This sounds incredible. I want to know if this is true." And sure enough, I found an article. This is the original article comes from Business Insider. Okay, and it's titled "Executives from OpenAI, Meta, and Palantir join the U.S. Army."
That's some good news on that front.
Yes, 4 top executives from OpenAI, Meta, and Palantir have just joined the U.S. Army. No obstacle courses, shattered orders, or grueling marches required. The Army Reserve has commissioned these senior tech leaders to serve as mid-level officers, skipping the tradition to pursue transformation. The newcomers won't attend any current version of the military's most basic and ingrained rites of passage, the boot camp. Instead, they'll be ushered in through express training that Army leaders are still hashing out. Colonel Dave Butler, a spokesperson for the Chief of Staff of the Army, said in a phone interview with Business Insider, quote, "They'll do marksmanship training, physical training. They'll learn the Army rank structure and history and uniforms," Butler explained. He said that you could think of it as a pilot of a boot camp light plans, adding that the new soldiers were part of the Army's larger effort to rapidly modernize. So the execs are Sham Shankar, the Chief Technology Officer for Palantir, Andrew Bosworth, Chief Technology Officer of Meta, Kevin Weil, the Chief Product Officer at OpenAI, and Bob McGrew, advisory for thinking. He's advisor at Thinking Machines Lab. So the service's decision to allow the 4 to skip direct commissioning boot camp, a shortened version of regular officer boot camp, is unusual though not without historical precedence. Butler said the Army has allowed the direct commission of civilians since 1861 to bring experts in with critically needed skills into the force, he wrote in an email. So it is a bit weird, but it would also show that we're really gearing up for some sort of AI versus AI battle, probably with China, and if not Russia, very soon.
With China and a bunch of all-male mice.
Yes.
This isn't unusual during times of war. They'll spin this sort of thing up for chaplains, for doctors, for dentists, for people who have specialized skills, and they generally roll them in as a captain or a major, so that they are in the officer corps, but they're not, in direct command of troops or fighting forces. And they go through like a shortened 4-week kind of mini boot camp sort of thing, so that they're familiar with the general structure and operation of the armed forces, but they're not, dyed in the wool as far as grunts and infantry. So
yeah, it's weird to have these tech leaders, but we're also in a weird point in the world where tech is so important on the battlefield in the world that you would have to bring these new experts in order to advise the military in some capacity. So, well, I don't like it. I understand the decision. I wonder if they were conscripted. Is this kind of like a form of conscription to a certain degree? I guarantee they probably offered these guys like, hey, you can join. We really need you. We'd rather not conscript you. Don't want to have to draft you, but we need you. So,
yeah, it's hard to say what the justification was for that.
Yeah. But we'll move on here. Got some more headlines, some more fascinating headlines for everyone out there.
With super secret cybernetic cyborg creation.
I do want to say in the chat, Hoodaloo makes a good point. Yes, make them all take the vax, because that was a big part of the armed forces.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is Trump's army, and he's not requiring that. So
yeah, he also still hasn't apologized for it.
That is true. Yeah.
You understand that?
I do. I understand it, but I don't like it. All right, here are some more headlines for people. You let me know what you want to talk about. So the Trump
not that one, the next one.
Okay. Not talking about Trump-Israel situation, the ceasefire, which I kind of played that in the intro where everyone sent this to me. It's like, hey, you hear Trump cursing?
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yes.
He said a bad word.
He said it.
You understand that?
Yeah.
Do you understand that?
I quote Alex Jones now.
Yeah, I think people are starting to understand it. So people are getting it.
I do not fully understand.
Okay, well, before you move away from that, you have to play this version.
Okay.
See, it's a Twitter link, so apologize for that.
That's fine. I like Twitter
thanks
links.
we did this. Thanks to Vanden in the Discord.
Okay, let's check this out.
I've been fighting so long.
It's a little low. Let me get my show compressor up here. And there's a lot of people making remixes and all this stuff. So hopefully it might be that. We'll find out right now. Come on.
And so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that? They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
It's not bad. It's a little off time. There's some other remixes out there. This is another one right here.
You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that?
You understand that?
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that?
You understand that?
These internet people, they're so good sometimes. They're so dynamite. So, yeah, that's going on. Another headline here is a Norwegian tourist is barred from entering the U.S. After U.S. Customs and ICE found a meme showing J.D. Vance with a bald head on his phone. I don't.
Uh-oh.
So
is this real? Did this actually happen?
This is where I don't know. This comes from the Daily Mail. So they found this image on the Norwegian's phone, which is hilarious. It's just one of those memes that are going around that are about JD Vance, and he looks ridiculous. He's got lipstick on. He's got a bald head. It's awesome. It's an awesome meme.
Yeah, and that's been floating around for a long time. So they're saying because this. So wait, let me rephrase. The story purports that because this person had this on their phone, they were banned from entering the U.S.
According to the Daily Mail, a Norwegian tourist claims he was harassed and refused entry into the U.S. after immigration officers found a meme on J.D. Vance's phone. Or a meme of J.D. Vance on his phone, I'm sorry. But how, I'm trying to think.
Did they go through every photo in their photo library? This, like I said, this starts to fall apart when you think critically about it. Because there was a threat. Was it State Department said they're going to start checking the social media of student visas to look for any, and again, in this case, because, yay, Israel, it's for anti-Semitism. I almost wonder if this is this person, I'm a victim because they went through my phone. I'm not buying it. Because
on my phone, I have hundreds, if not thousands of pictures. And for them to take the time to go through all of them, and I got memes on there. I got silly stuff on.
You're going to jail.
Yeah. They're not going to let me back into the country.
Nope.
And I'm leaving the country, by all accounts, fingers crossed, at the end of the year, going to Portugal. Can you believe that?
I wouldn't leave the country.
I'm going. What?
I let my passport expire after the nonsense they pulled during COVID, where if you weren't vaxxed, they were literally not letting U.S. citizens back into the country until they were vaxxed. Fuck it, I'm not leaving the country again.
Yeah, it's a tough one, but we're planning on going to Portugal. So if I got
wouldn't do it.
Portuguese listeners out there, let me know. Should I go? I'm going. I got the tickets are there.
Well, again, the problem during COVID wasn't you going to Portugal or somewhere. It was a problem getting back into your own country.
Yes.
Where they were like, no, you can't come back in unless you're fully vaxxed.
Do you understand that?
No, I don't like it. So with the story, they said they asked questions about drug trafficking, terrorist plots, and right-wing extremism totally without reason, he told the outlet.
What do you want to bet this guy was mouthing off about something?
I don't know.
And started showing off all his memes. Hey, is this your stupid vice president?
Yeah, we're not getting the full story here.
No, we're not.
We're not. There's something else going on here. All right. Well, had to bring that one up there.
There's people. I think it's the same people who want COVID back want this to be. They so want this to be true that they will exaggerate anything they can to kind of perpetuate the authoritarianism of the imagined authoritarianism of the U.S.
Yeah, they want the police state to show that it exists. And there are police state-like qualities that we have. Of course, there certainly are. I'm not sure how police statey it is. Are we at police state 1 or police state 6, their first assignment? We don't know.
Oh, look, there's an update to that story. Uh-oh. Says this guy was sent away on June 11th. Sent away after arriving at New Jersey's Newark airport. He told Norwegian outlet Nordlys he'd been pulled aside by border control and put in a cell. They asked questions about drug trafficking, terror plots, right-wing extremism. He claimed that they threatened him with a $5,000 fine or 5 years in prison if he refused to give up the password to his phone. Guards were said to have found a meme on the device's camera showing an edit of U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance. Where's the update here? Because it says...
I got to know now. I have to know. I have to know the real story, the real reason here.
Oh, right.
Well, the headline says, tourist who claimed he was banned for entry due to a J.D. Vance meme on his phone was actually denied for a different reason. Well, where's the update?
What's that reason?
Let's see. Oh, U.S. Customs and Border Patrol, U.S. Customs and Border Protection has since clarified he was not denied entry for memes or political reasons. But what's the update?
Yep.
Bastards?
Yeah. Why was he banned? Could he not answer a few simple questions?
Have you called a plumber to your home lately?
Yeah.
Have you ever walked out of a mall into a huge parking area and realized you'd forgotten where you parked your car?
If you can't answer that question, you can't come into the country.
They're not responding. So they have an official response from U.S. Customs and Border Protection saying that's not why he was denied entry, but they don't say why.
But they're not saying why. This is not good.
Whoa! I hate crap like this. Now I got to keep digging on this stupid story for a guy making all this shit up.
Whoa! Another headline here: computer engineer grads are facing double the unemployment rate versus art history grads.
Yeah, we covered this story.
Yeah,
a month ago.
This is old news, but they're repurposing it. So the new headline right there. Let's see here. Headline here: disgraced influencer, the Liver King, arrested in Texas after calling out Joe Rogan in unhinged post. Whoa! You know who the Liver King is?
I'm familiar with the memes of the Liver King, the guy who was on all sorts of steroids or something.
Yeah, that's what I think that's what I know of him. So yeah.
Oh, by the way, here it is. So it was just like when you purchase a firearm in the U.S. and you have to fill out the form and ask, are you currently using any illicit drugs? He responded yes on his entry form.
Oh.
And so they bounced him.
Oh, what was he using?
Doesn't say.
Oh, okay.
Still digging.
So we've got to find out what kind of drugs he was on.
All of them.
Well, it very well could be. And you want on that section, just lie. Just go ahead. It's okay. You don't confess to that. So disgrace.
Well, I mean, I got grabbed by customs going into the UK, and it was one of those random things. But they grabbed me out of line and gave me a short interrogation on random shit. I think they're just
bored.
So they probably grabbed this guy, asked him a couple questions. He responded not in the right way to a few of them, and now all of a sudden, it's JD Vance's fault.
Kawawa.
Yeah, well, disgraced influencer Liver King arrested in Texas after calling out Joe Rogan in unhinged posts. Yes, the disgraced influencer, the Liver King, known for lying about his insane muscular physique, being down to gobbling raw organs and even the testicles, was arrested in Texas after challenging Joe Rogan to a fight in bizarre social media footage. So this guy eats the organs and the testicles of animals. I was just doing the testicles. So that's what.
I'm just Rocky Mountain oysters.
Yeah, I've been doing it all wrong. The YouTuber whose real name is Brian Johnson, the singer of AC/DC, was charged Tuesday with making a terroristic threat soon after traveling to Rogan's home state and posting alarming videos about picking a fight with the podcaster, at one point holding what appears to be two guns. So yeah, this guy is all upset because I think Rogan talked about him on one of his shows. And this guy was, the Liver King, was found to be using
Not
steroids.
So natty.
I think it's like public records that he was using steroids. And he had a large supplement business. He had like 3 million followers on Instagram. And this guy doesn't like the fact that Joe Rogan brought this history back up again to all his viewers. So he, I guess, wanted to challenge him to a fight. But I suspect he challenged him to a fight, and this whole hullabaloo in just an effort to get some press attention, to get back on the radar, to get some more people checking him out. And that's exactly what's happened here. This guy's on the radar now. He has attached himself to Joe Rogan in some way, and now he's going to get a lot more followers, a lot more people checking him out. His brand has been pumped back up again, and so this arrest may have been worth it in the long run for his.
Did he actually get arrested, or was he just reported he was arrested?
Let's see here.
Because why would they arrest him? I mean, I get the claim of threats, but did he openly threaten Joe Rogan? Didn't he challenge him to a fight? Isn't that kind of what everybody online does?
So they say he was arrested in Texas after challenging Rogan. Further details of arrests were not immediately known. So I'm trying to go down here to see why he was so. Minutes before his arrest, Johnson is seen frantically pacing around the living room with meditation music playing, talking about going to prison, being arrested, and fighting Rogan. So I think it was a weapons charge. I'm not clear, but I think I heard that he when he traveled to the state, he did have a weapon with him. So it was a weapons charge, possibly. But I probably need clarification on that. But here's a picture of the Liver King eating raw something. Organs, maybe testicles, don't know. He eats them all. And he is jacked. He should fight. Him and Rogan should fight. They should get the Tiger King and the Liver King with Martin Luther King Jr. all against Joe Rogan.
So I'm reading the police report on this. Says detectives reviewed the post. This is the Liver King's post. Observed that Johnson was traveling to Austin while continuing to make threatening statements. Detective contacted Mr. Rogan, who stated he'd never had any personal interaction with Johnson and considered the post to be threatening. Based on this information, detectives obtained an arrest warrant on a charge of terroristic threat, which is a Class B misdemeanor.
That's why Joe's so hardcore now.
It's almost like booking and releasing. I'm wondering, was he brandishing a weapon or something during? I guess would be you could give him a misdemeanor for that, I suppose. But
the guy's jacked. The guy's yoked. But he's a little rough now. He looks a little rough. He kind of looks like a hobo. So, okay.
Well, he's he's got that look to him of the kind of the what's the term for it? Kind of like the caveman look, very very paleo.
Yeah, very paleo.
Oh.
Yeah, well, now I guess I got to follow him on Instagram now to see what happens after he gets out of jail. So it worked. His plan.
He said he was spending up to $11,000 a month on steroids and performance enhancing drugs.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's jacked.
I have to do it.
Well, I mean, this is a common thing. Like, you see this in Hollywood and stuff where, actors have to look at a ridiculously physical, they to look ridiculously physically, what would be the term here? Like superior or whatever.
Yeah, like Hugh Jackman. Look at him, what he did for Wolverine recently.
Yeah.
Or The Rock, my God.
But they can only maintain that for a couple of weeks or a short few months during the shoot, and then they immediately kind of roll back to. They may still be very fit, but they immediately roll back to a much more realistic physique.
Have you seen pictures recently of Batista? Like the guy who played the crazy muscular guy in Guardians of the Galaxy, the ex-wrestler.
Oh, Dave Bautista.
Like now he looks like a hairless lesbian. He has slimmed down so much you can't even picture his Sims. Like, oh my God, let me bring him up.
Did he have some health issues or something? Or?
I think he said he slimmed down, lost all his muscle because he wanted to get more dramatic acting roles. I'll see if I can bring it up on the screen. Why am I getting a 500 error? I shouldn't.
Would you break the internet?
There's some. I'm trying to get some more recent pictures of him, but he just looks weird. He looks very thin and gaunt, and he looks like a weird duck. But it happens. Yeah, I guess you only can stay jacked for so long.
Well, it takes a tremendous amount of work. I mean, in the case of somebody like Hugh Jackman or whatever, they've got nutritionists watching everything he puts into his body. He's got 2 or 3 personal trainers doing very targeted workouts on things. He's on all sorts of, whether you want to call it performance-enhancing drugs, steroids, whatever, he's on all sorts of like testosterone treatments and, human growth hormone. And even if it's not to that level of being strict anabolic steroids, he's on every possible supplement and drug, and he's got people watching it. But they're still putting in, even in the case of Liver King, he's still putting in 3, 4, 5 hours a day on some of these targeted workouts to get those results, and that's not something that you can do and have your 8 or 10 hour a day job and have your family and have your other stuff. It's just not something that your average person can accomplish.
Yeah, I tried to start down that path, but I had like 5 cheat days last week. And, it's just tough. I'm just trying to, I'm almost 50. I'm just trying to maintain.
Cheat days. I thought it was cheat years. Sorry.
And I know some big guys out there that will spend a few hours at the gym, and God bless them. I can't do it. It's tough. It's tough for me to do it.
Well, it's a commitment thing. It's a commitment thing. It's a time thing. So again, you see that in high performance athletes. You see it because that's their job is doing that. You see that in actors who need to get to a certain point for a film or something. But it's ridiculously difficult to maintain that.
So I have two more different headlines. I'll let you pick the one that we'll talk about. So the first one here is the Magic Kingdom. New Disney plans revealed, and they include a new major theme park. Or we can talk about suspended animation. It's here, and it might not be what you'd expect.
Like suspended animation, like hyperspace sleep sort of stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. I would say that one. I do want to say I'm still digging around in this guy from Norway. He's also claiming he was strip searched in some articles, so I think he's leaning into this one.
Yeah, it sounds like he's really milking it, and it's probably not about the J.D. Vance meme. He's probably all hopped up on goofballs, and he admitted it.
Goofballs!
Yeah.
He needs suspended animation to get into the country.
That would help. Then you don't interact with agents. You just kind of get floated through. But here it is.
Roll you through in a bag.
Here's the headline here, people. Suspended animation is here, just not how you'd expect.
Man, I got mixed emotions about this one.
Will suspended animation ever exist? Well, it already does if you count animals hibernating over winter. But if you mean the sort of suspended animation depicted in science fiction movies, where a person is placed in a pod and frozen so they can survive interstellar journeys, that's a little bit more fanciful. But
let's do it.
We could try it. It couldn't hurt. But there are some
could just kill you dead.
Yeah, I guess it could just freeze you to death.
Died too. Try another one.
We're just freezing people to death. We're getting really good at it.
People who fall asleep on airplanes, we're just grabbing them, sticking them in pods, freezing them, see what happens.
But there are some very down-to-earth applications, assuming we can solve the problems with freezing human tissue. For decades, we've known about the potential for using cold temperatures to slow the biological processes and have recently started using them as a form of emergency life-saving treatment. Yeah, I guess if you're like really badly injured, they just throw you in a bucket of ice, slows everything down. It gives the surgeons and the doctors a little bit more time to put all your pieces back together.
Well, not quite. I mean, there's in general rehabilitation in any sort of injury recovery. There's acronyms like RICE, rest, ice, compression, elevation, because
cold plunges.
Cold plunges to some extent too, but icing, cooling areas of the body that have been injured slows down some of the swelling, because that's the body's immediate response to areas of injury is to swell and take pressure off of that. So by putting some ice on there, that helps. By cooling it, that helps to reduce that. So I think that's kind of what they're saying is like, well, we already use these things to slow the body's reaction to other things, so let's try just putting people in the freezer.
Well, officially termed suspended animation for delayed resurrection. People suffering a heart attack, for example, can quickly be cooled to induce hypothermia. This slows the body's processes and protects their organs, in particular their brains, while the blood flow is interrupted. The technique dramatically reduces the risk of brain damage and is so effective that people can survive without medical treatment for up to 90 minutes. So remember that. If someone's injured, people, throw them in a tub of ice, and it might save their life. This kind of suspended animation involves cooling the body to around 5 degrees Celsius or 59 degrees Fahrenheit instead of the normal 37 or 98 degrees Fahrenheit. Any lower and the cells start to die. So keep that in mind. As the temperature drops below freezing, the huge amount of water in our cells becomes dangerous. Water expands as it freezes, and sharp ice crystals form which puncture our soft cells and blood vessels. Anyone who experienced frostbites knows the destructive effect the cold can have on affected body parts. Freeze an entire person solid and you will kill them. See, our experiments would fail, Gretchen.
That's what I'm doing wrong. Keep stuffing hobos into the freezer. It doesn't work.
Yet we freeze human embryos, in one case, for 19 years before defrosting them and allowing them to grow in a healthy baby, or grow into a healthy baby.
A healthy baby made out of two dads, apparently.
Apparently that's possible in China.
You think you could do that with frozen embryos? You could then ship them off to like Jupiter or something, and then they wake up, it's like, hey, you better grow up quick because you got to build a space base for us here.
Yeah.
But we don't know.
Maybe. That could be a possibility. So embryos are frozen early, typically when they're just a collection of a few cells, and they survive because they're prepared first. A protective agent is added to suck out the water and prevent ice crystals from forming. Then the embryos are flash frozen in tanks of liquid nitrogen at negative 196 degrees Celsius, so they can be preserved in suspended animation. The North American wood frog does something similar to get through winters. As temperatures drop, the frog flushes its cells with glucose and then allows itself to freeze until the heart stops and the brain functions cease.
Are they saying that the North American wood frog has access to liquid nitrogen?
It might be. They're very dangerous frogs.
We don't know what's happening.
Where's he get that?
Ice surrounds its organs, but the glucose prevents damaging ice crystals from forming inside the tissue. When temperatures rise again, it slowly thaws out and carries on as normal. It would be difficult. It would be a difficult feat for a human to pull this off, and would need some very risky water extraction and chemical injections into every part of our body. Hibernation is a different approach. Small rodents, such as mice and hedgehogs, allow their body temperatures to drop to near freezing, which causes massive slowdown of their breathing and heart rates. Bigger mammals don't need to drop their body temperature so much. So there's
they talk in this article. Do they talk about alligators doing this in ice? Have you seen that?
I don't think they talked about that, but they moved up to American black bears that drop their body temperatures to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. This reduces their metabolic rate by a quarter, which is enough to stop the bone and muscle loss that they would normally experience during that long periods of inactivity. So there are some good reasons why being frozen isn't a great idea for larger mammals like us, but perhaps hibernation is a better option than suspended animation. So they're probably, they're probably actively talking about this kind of stuff, coming up with ideas. Or what are we going to do with people when we send them to Mars? Are we going to suspend them? We're just going to basically force them to take Ambien and sleep the entire time because of all. You don't want people going crazy on those long journeys. There goes one.
Why does that guy have a cannon?
That's how you shoot him into space.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant he took the cannon with him.
Space cannon.
We all get one item. This is mine.
But that came from the BBC Science Focus, and I don't know, fascinating article. Just want to share that with everyone before we headed over to Cretch's segment, which is happening right now. Here we go.
We need to obey the first law of holes,
which is apparently replace all of your blood with glucose.
Yes, that's the
and
first.
then ask the frog where he got the liquid nitrogen.
It sounds like the frog should go to Mars before humans.
Yeah, why don't we put the frogs in charge of this?
Mm-hmm. They know what the hell's going on.
Let's see. What do we got here? Got a lot of weird crime stuff. Oh, there you go. You had a Disney story.
I did.
I have a Disney story. Do you want to do your Disney story before I do a Disney story?
Nah, it's just I want to sprinkle in a little bit more entertainment news to OBDM, so we can have our finger on the pulse of pop culture.
Infotainment. All right. Yeah. Well, here's some Disney-related news from Disneyland Paris. They did not appreciate this. It's there's some nonsense going on over there.
Okay. French police probe fake Disneyland marriage with 9-year-old.
I'm upset by this.
Many questions.
Okay, this is weird. French police were on Sunday probing the circumstances of a bizarre stunt at Disneyland outside of Paris with a group of adults suspected of hiring the theme park and paying hundreds of extras to stage a fake marriage for a 9-year-old Ukrainian girl. 2 people were held for questioning in this case, which initially caused alarm when staff alerted police on Saturday that it could have concerns of illegal child marriages. But investigators now believe that the so-called marriage was staged, and the girl's mother reportedly saying that she wanted her to feel like a Disney princess for a day. The event turned out to be staged with guests themselves as extras invited to be a part of the stunt, deputy prosecutor said. So it wasn't a big wedding, but a stage wedding filmed with around 100 extras. They hired Disneyland Paris pretending it was a real wedding. These people, Ukrainians, have a lot of money to throw around.
Yeah, maybe they should give it back to the U.S. who's been funding them.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Shouldn't they be over there fighting or something?
I thought their country was in an existential crisis.
What's going on? 4 people were arrested, taken into custody, and the questioning of 2 of them suspected of fraud and money laundering was extended on Saturday evening. They are the so-called groom who is believed to be behind this event, a 22-year-old who presumed to be British, and a Latvian woman, 24, said the sources. This is weird. So they're not even like Ukrainian as well? However, the other 2 people detained, a 41-year-old Ukrainian woman and a 55-year-old Latvian man, were released. The investigation includes a medical examination of a 9-year-old girl, a Ukrainian national, found that she had not been subject to any violence or coercive acts. So that's good. I see, according to the newspaper, which first reported the incident, a man had several weeks previously hired the Disneyland Paris complex for a sum of $150,000 for several hours before it opened to the public. Staff were astonished when the 9-year-old appeared wearing high heels on Saturday morning, barely able to stand in the elaborate footwear, and they alerted authorities at that time. So, okay.
Yeah, I don't buy this like, oh, it's just Princess Day. I think there was some weird like human trafficking. This is some weird stuff.
Oh, bullshit.
Yeah, this is
especially people using fake IDs and stuff, and they got a 9-year-old. What the hell?
Yeah, this is very weird.
Get goofy out there to regulate.
Yeah, I don't know. Some hinky's going on. Let's see what else you got over there.
The right word for it. All right.
Whoa.
So let's go with this one. Here's a story from China.
All right.
They have a unique way of waking you up. You know, you call for a wake up call sort of thing.
China.
They have a unique way to do it, and they've been advised to stop doing this.
Oh, okay. Chinese hotel told wake-up service of red pandas climbing onto guest beds must stop.
I love that headline.
I don't know. That's a cute way to wake up. These red pandas, they look adorable. Maybe there's a video of this. I'll see.
Oh, I can't get it.
There's a guy yammering. I want to see what he's yammering about.
I can't get the video to play.
I'm having trouble over. Here we go.
In the world where you can have a panda delivered to your room to sit on your bed with you. So Rian's just enjoying it. Check it out.
How unique is this? So we've got a panda in our bed eating apple with us. But it feels so strange. So you'd think it was fluffy.
It's pretty awesome. This looks like an anime character, this red panda. It looks awesome.
That's so cool.
I'm waiting for people to get views or some shit.
That's the camera.
It looks adorable. I would want this. I'd go to China just for this.
You'd think his fur feels like fluffy like a cat, but it's actually like quite gristly. What would you say it is?
Yeah, I'd say it's like rough.
It's like quite rough, but it's really
got rough hair, he does.
Oh.
It's a bit stodgy.
Oh my.
So any event,
someone's kid is going to get bitten.
Yeah. A Chinese hotel has been ordered to end its unusual wake-up call service that involves a red panda climbing onto guest beds after concerns for safety and animal rights. China doesn't really care about either one of those things, so why are they stopping? Yes, but this is the Lehe Ledu. Lehe Ledu. That's the name of the...
Yes, that's exactly how it's pronounced.
Lehe Ledu.
Okay.
Holiday Hotel, a popular family resort in China, has been called on by the local forestry bureau to stop one of its most popular services. Many guests are attracted to the hotel solely for the Red Panda wake-up experience. The service involves...
this hotel sucks, but there's pandas.
Their entire business model revolves around this Red Panda. So why are people going to come? They're going to stop the service. Because the many guests are attracted to the hotel solely for the Red Panda wake-up experience. The service involves bringing one of the hotel's red pandas up to a guest bedroom in the morning, allowing the panda to roam freely around, peeing and crapping everywhere before climbing up onto your bed and mauling your face. They're adorable, though, these things.
If it's a wake-up service, did they break into your room and then just release pandas in there? Is that...
yeah, I guess, because it has to be unbeknownst to you.
Right, because otherwise you're just answering the door. It's like room service.
Yeah, because then it's not really that special. But yeah, if you are to wake up, you can wake up.
Wake up!
No, if they can't have red pandas anymore, could they just release bears? Would that work?
Sure. Maybe they're not as endangered. Put some raccoons in there. That'll wake you up too.
We got a bunch of cats.
Here's some cats. Some feral pigs. That'll wake you up.
We got a collection of pigs. Go. That'll wake the shit out of you.
Yeah, that'll wake you up. I have an Alex Jones rant about waking up.
We're not perfect. We certainly have consciences and knock ourselves all day. But I'll assure you, those people that don't have a conscience, those sociopaths, psychopaths, control freaks, sadists, scumbags, they like screwing us over. They think it makes them better than us because they know we're better than them. And I'm sick of these people. I know I'm stronger. I know I've got more will than they do. I'll tear them apart, and they know it. That's why they're scared of us. And they know we're rising. They know we're waking up. I want to beat these people. I hate them.
Okay. I mean, yeah, if you get called with that on the phone, you're going to wake up probably. Just a random Alex Jones rant telling you to wake up.
Only if it's delivered in person. He's just got a megaphone.
Yeah.
And they just throw open the door, and he just starts yelling at
Wake up! Wake up!
One British couple, Renee and Ben, who run a YouTube channel, documented their experience with the red pandas at the Le Holiday Hotel. The video shows red panda climbing. Okay, we saw the video. Okay, well, this is all over for them, so the hotel's got to shut down because no one else is going there for any other reason.
That's right.
You can go to the hotel across the street. They got alligators that wake you up. So.
Release alligators into your room.
Oh, my God. You can't do that. No. What, just a group of dogs that wake you up. There's nothing more serene than a group of dogs barking outside of your door to wake you up.
So you're saying like a pack of like Appalachian hound dogs.
Yeah, what about bears? Oh, bears are at my door.
Bear in here.
We also offer wake up service. We just start vacuuming randomly to wake you up. How about that? This is a very special service.
I always ask for the guy to come in and ride his moped around in the room.
Can you? How about this? We just come into your room and we start up a chainsaw. How about that? Wakey, wakey. And hey, welcome to China. Wake up.
Wake up!
We brought the dog and the cat and the chainsaw and the vacuum cleaners going all at the same time just to wake you up. Oh, now a train is going through right past your bedroom. Oh, and in a tugboat, too.
Old-timey car.
I think it's a Model T. We rent that just for these guests right here. Oh, and submarine's diving, too. That'll wake you up.
Might as well just ring the doorbell and fire the cannon.
Fire the cannon right in their face, full of tartar sauce. It's time to wake up, people. Well, yeah, this is being shut down, so no more.
Yeah, stop this.
All right, Gretchen, let's see what else you got over there.
All right.
Maybe some more Chinese news. Who knows? We don't know what's going to happen.
Nibble my ear.
It's not Chinese news. This is Spanish news from Spain. Police stopped a guy, and he wasn't having it. Had a very unique method of, let's say, resisting. So you might want to take notes on this. This might be a good one to try. You'd have to be prepared for it, but might be a good one.
Beekeeper unleashed a swarm of bees on police during traffic stop. Wow.
Oh, really?
That is a very unique way to try to get out of a traffic stop. A routine seatbelt stops turned into an insect ambush when a 7-year-old beekeeper in Spain allegedly sized his bees, sicked.
That's how you spell the word.
I was expecting a K, and they fooled me, Cratchit. They fooled me, Cratchit.
Okay.
They sicked his bees on 2 traffic officers. The incident happened just after 1 p.m. on a Friday, alongside some highway in Catalonia. In a Catalonian town, police say they pulled over a van for erratic driving and noticed the man behind the wheel wasn't wearing a seatbelt. What they didn't expect was for the driver to respond with, "I should have run you over," before refusing a second breathalyzer test and threatening to kill them. Then came the bees. According to multiple sources, the man walked calmly to the back of his van, opened the door, and released a swarm of honeybees directly at the officers. The insects attacked immediately, stinging both cops and forcing them to seek shelter in a nearby restaurant. These cops, very tolerant of their traffic stops. Like I would imagine in the United States, someone probably would have been shot already.
Well, they probably spent their time trying to shoot the bees. They're hard to hit.
Yeah. Probably.
I do like this concept of he releases bees. It's highly effective.
What is it? What is it? What is it? Oh, no, not the bees! Not the bees! Ah! Open my eyes! Eyes!
There you go. The insects attacked immediately, seeing both cops and forced them to seek shelter in a nearby restaurant. Restaurant patrons reportedly stepped in to help, guiding the officers safely while bees buzzed through the entrance. The man fled the scene but didn't get far. Police tracked him down shortly after, arresting him and took his statement. He was released on bail within a few hours. Both officers were taken to urgent care center and treated with cortisone for the stings.
Somebody put cortisone on him.
No, just put a little paste on that. No one was serious. No one else was injured. All right.
What happened to the bees?
Yeah, did anybody arrest the bees? This bizarre busy attack comes at tense times for Catalonia's police force.
Yeah, they go into some bullshit here. Go to the last paragraph.
So far, there's been no official word on what happened to the bees, but if anyone is looking for the wildest use of a natural weapon this year, this might be it. Yes, those bees got away.
Were these bees trained?
Trained attack bees.
That's right. Because it sounds like he was just walks to the back, throws open the door, get him.
And the bees are like raring to go.
That's right.
Like, for the most part, unless these
bees hate cops.
Yeah, they're bigots. They're anti-police, probably Antifa bees.
They're Antifa beans.
Yeah. It is. I mean,
he trains them in ice. Like, I'm not going to give you any food. It's the police. They're doing it. Get them.
I'm gonna have to blame the police officers because unless you start swatting at the bees and start panicking, these bees are probably going to leave you alone. So they're brutalizing the bees right off the bat. So I think the cops panicked. They ran like 2 little sissy Marys from bees, and
do you think they ran around screaming, flailing their arms?
Of course they did. Just like in the movies. They love Jerry Lewis over there, so they probably thought this was a big chance to act all paranoid and create some comic relief for all the onlookers while they run from bees. But,
imagine being in the restaurant and the bees are so small you couldn't see the bees.
Yeah.
So you're seeing this guy get pulled over. He opens the back of his van, and now the 2 cops are just running around,
swatting
flailing
stuff.
Yeah,
like retarded people waving their arms around, not knowing what's going on. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But that's what they do over there. These wacky French police officers.
No, it's Spanish. They're in Spain.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how you got to France.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I got to France. It's all over there. It's all over there. It's right.
Don't
next
make
to
that
each
mistake when you guys go to Portugal. They speak a different language, you know. So.
Yep. Here we go, people. Another story.
Oh man. Oh, let's see. I got two more European stories. One about Venice and one about Scotland. I have a guy trying to break into a house and get stuck like Santa Claus. And I have an AI story because we haven't done enough of that. About we touched on this one, but AI now openly wanting to kill all humans.
Woo! Chat, what do you think? You want Scotland or do you want AI total destruction?
Well, as the chat is about 14 seconds behind.
Yeah, that's all right.
It's going to take a while.
I'd be kind of curious to hear their thoughts on it. We did cover a lot of AI news today. Maybe it's overload. I kind of wonder
I got a Venice wedding. I got Scotland, and I got a dude stuck in a chimney like Santa Claus.
Let's do Scotland. Let's see what's going on in Scotland.
All right. Do you know Scotland is home to the most visited paranormal city on the entire planet, apparently?
I did hear about this.
Yeah.
Bonnybridge, I believe, is the place.
According to the Bonnybridge Tourist Bureau.
I did hear about this.
All right, so this says people in Scotland like their drink, which is a surprise to no one.
I can't believe this. This is insane. I can't believe what I'm reading here. Scotland's alcohol consumption dangerously excessive.
Man, I got mixed emotions about this one.
I thought it was just a given. What do they consider excessive over there? You know what I'm saying?
That's true. What's excessive to you is Tuesday for me.
Scotland's alcohol consumption continues to be dangerously excessive, with people drinking 50% safe limits, statistics show. I mean, they're already like a drinking culture over there, I think. And so for them to call this out, like, hey, slow down, people. This is getting crazy. But the latest data published by the Public Health of Scotland on Tuesday showed that Scots are buying and drinking more alcohol than people in England and Wales. What about the U.S., though? I'd like to see that comparison.
I think this is about the UK.
Oh, come on. One big family. The data from 2023 to 2024 shows Scots drink more than 50% above the chief medical officer's safe drinking guidelines. 14 units a week. I'm not sure what a unit is, but they're drinking way more than that. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good question. What the hell is a unit?
Adults consume an average of 21.6 units of alcohol per week in Scotland. Experts say at the PHS estimates that the current drinking pattern continues, there will be a 21% increase in alcohol-related disease by 2043.
All right, so a unit is equivalent to 10 milliliters or 8 grams of pure alcohol. So then it's going to depend on your drink itself, but that would be equivalent to, this says, 3 units of alcohol is a pint of you get 3 units of alcohol in a pint of strong lager, which is what, going to be in the 8 to 10% of alcohol by volume.
Woo!
Good. So what's the number they're drinking here? 21 per week.
21 per week.
So that's the equivalent of... Wait, that's equivalent of 7 pints? All right, I changed my mind on the story. This chief medical officer is a pussy.
Yeah, they don't know how to drink over
7
there.
pints a week, 1 pint a day. That's nothing.
Yeah, it seems like it's not that bad. Okay.
Give me some alcohol!
Yeah. They're a bunch of pikers over there, okay? Get back to me. Get back to me when it's really out of control. All right, Cratch, let's do one more story. Come on.
Well, you got to bounce me out of here.
Yeah, I got to. I pressed the wrong button.
Wait, here we go.
Here we go.
You goddamn motherfuckers.
Sorry, I didn't mean to press that. I didn't mean to swear, but that was a weird one.
Let's see. Looking for one of these.
Here.
Oh, let's go with this one because this is weird.
Okay. You do like weird stories here, that's for sure.
So here's a lady gets arrested. She forgets that she stuffed a bunch of drugs down her shorts.
Oh God, those are important.
Trying to hide things in her prison pocket.
Yeah.
This did not go well for her.
Oh, boy. This is not good. You're going to want to remember this stuff, people. She forgot. Florida woman allegedly hid several syringes and a bag of fentanyl inside her person.
Oh, really?
Oh,
you're going to think about the logistics of this.
Oh, boy. A Florida woman was recently arrested after several syringes and fentanyl were found inside her person. Jessica Reno, 34, stands accused of a myriad of crimes, including smuggling a controlled substance and possession of fentanyl, according to the Flagler County Sheriff's Office. The underlying incident, however, was not drug-related at all. In fact, far from it. On the 15th of June, Reno was pulled over in a mismatched license plate allegedly assigned to a Ford car, but affixed to the defendant's Chevrolet pickup. And the driver inside, the driver's seatbelt inside was dangling near the door, according to the charge. Another seatbelt pullover. She didn't have any bees with her. That's the problem here.
Yeah, she should have had her bees ready. She wasn't ready. So if you think about it, basically this means the police are driving around with their license plate scanners.
Yep.
It picked up that, it flagged that one, but it's a mismatch on the car, so now they're suspicious. They look at the truck and the seatbelt, and you've all seen this. People drive around like the seatbelt, like hanging out the door, means they're clearly not wearing a seatbelt.
Yeah.
So they're like, all right, pulling this one over, but it gets weirder.
Yeah, a deputy wrote that such a seatbelt is consistent with the driver not wearing a seatbelt properly, and the traffic stop ensued, according to the court document. And they noticed no bees, so they felt confident that they could pull her over.
They stopped to check. You have any bees in there?
But the deputies say Reno seemed to be taking her time. Upon activating my emergency lights and sirens, the vehicle tapped on its brakes several times, but it continued to proceed without stopping for approximately 30 seconds, despite having several safe lit areas to pull over. Well, she's busy.
Oh, it gets better.
Upon making contact with the driver, she stated that she was on the phone and was talking to her daughter, which is why she did not immediately pull over.
I'm on the phone.
Can't pull over. I'm busy.
They need caller number 12. I got to keep calling.
I then inquired if the female was the registered owner of the vehicle, and she said yes. While attempting to get the operator's driver's license, she stated that she does not have a license and has an upcoming court date regarding her driver's license suspension.
Right, she's just piling them on at this point.
It was the very driver's license that they were asking her for, and that was suspended. The traffic stop allegedly confirmed the license plate was on the wrong vehicle, that Reno was driving with a lapsed registration and without insurance, according to the sheriff's office. When asked about her seatbelt, the defendant allegedly apologized for being in a rush.
Mm-hmm.
After being Mirandized, the Reno allegedly admitted that she was aware of her suspended license and had an upcoming court date after previously being caught driving. She also
not helping her.
She also said she used her friend's license plate after her own license plate blew off her truck. That happens. It's very windy. Approximately 6 days prior.
I was going so fast. License plate went flinging off.
And then came the drug component of the case. Upon placing Jessica under arrest for the above criminal charges, a female deputy was requested to perform a search incident to the arrest. During that time, it was explained to Jessica that if she had any other contraband on or inside her person, she would face additional criminal charges if it was located at the inmate facility. Jessica stated that she did not. So then Reno was booked into the jail cell. That was allegedly when the drugs were found. The booking deputies discovered a black sock tucked inside the area of Jessica's vaginal cavity. The affidavit goes on to say, with a black sock, the deputies located 6 capped syringes with a bag of white powdery substance. While inquiring about the substance, Jessica stated that the substance was fentanyl. The affidavit explains at length. Okay. She later stated that she was afraid to say anything because she did not want to get sick. At the time, Jessica admitted that the substance was fentanyl, and she purchased it today. Okay. Boy, okay.
Yeah, this just piling on all this stuff, and then that's syringes in your prison pocket, really? That's a new one on me.
That's hardcore.
I have to do it.
That is hardcore. Holy moly. But I guess you got to go for it at a certain point in time.
By the way, 6 syringes. Not like 1 or 2. 6!
And by the way, I don't think she was talking to her daughter. I think she was, in fact, stuffing that stuff in her coach. I don't even think she was on the phone at all. I think she could have been lying.
I don't think she's being truthful.
Wait a second. You don't even have a daughter, do you?
It's like anything that could possibly go. The only thing she didn't do was like give him a fake name. Everything else was like, it's not my car with the wrong license plate. Just driving around, no seatbelt. Possibly on the phone. Maybe hiding things. Yeah, just
asking for it at that point. Jeez.
Might as well have bees. Just release the bees, punch the throttle, and see if you can get away.
Just put the bees in the trunk. What kind of car was she driving?
It was a truck.
It was a truck. Okay. Yeah, you put the bees in the back of the truck.
You put a lot of bees back
there.
there.
Oh, yeah. Easily. Lesson learned here, Reno. Jessica, now you know, bees. Next time you go buy fentanyl, have your bees with you.
Just get some trained anti-cop bees.
Well, thank you, everyone, for hanging out during this Wednesday show. We'll be back on Saturday for a little bit of a show. Yes, big time. Until then, you can go to OBDMpod.com or ourbigdumbmouth.com. There's ways to support the show there. Yes, there are. And, we'll have a lot more fun on Saturday.
Balls. Boner.
Boner balls.
Boner. Balls.
Yes.
Wait, is that what we're doing on Saturday?
Nah, I don't know. I don't know what we're doing on Saturday, but it will be fun.
The Goblin.
It'll probably involve boner balls.
Yeah.
Boner. Balls. Boner. Balls. Boner. Boner. Balls.
Game I like to play. Oh, boy. I think that's it, people. That's all I got to say. We're just winding down the show. Remember, we're streaming to not only Rumble, but we're streaming to Kick now. I don't know if the people are using
Kick. Are we on Kick?
We're on Kick.
All right, how do I find us on Kick?
Search OBDM on Kick.
Not OBDM Pod?
I think OBDM will do it. I think so.
There you are.
Yeah. We're there. We're on Kick.
So now I got to watch a 6th stream? Is that what's happening here? By the way, people complaining during the show about the streams. We do stream live on Twitter, Twitch. Where else are we on? We're on Rumble, Kick.
Yeah, Kick.
So lots of places to find us. If you're having trouble with one, try another one.
Yeah, I'll try to work out the stream. Well, thank you, Cratchit. Shablagoo, everyone.
Keep watching the skis for anti-police bees. That rhymes.
Well, I want my boogie.
Yes, this is all very interesting.
You will be obsolete in the new order. Shields up. Shields up. Red alert.
That's about all.
Shablagoo.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.
Well, now you know the rest of the story.
Trump is a reptoid.